A very good afternoon and welcome to the Rings, the home of the Ringwood Hawks, the outer eastern suburbs of Melbourne. We sit about 30 kilometres east of our great city. During the week, the official announcement, 5 million people living in the city of Melbourne. Not all will be tuned in today, not all will be here as we go into Game 3, the decider for the 2018 Big V State Championship men's title. A very good afternoon and welcome. Justin Nelson and Paul Langford with you. And last night, the Eltham Wildcats turned on a show, an amazing 47-point turnaround from Game 1. The series is tied at 1-1, and this afternoon, over the next couple of hours, we will crown the 2018 champion. It's been a long time between drinks for the Eltham Wildcats. In fact, I'm not sure if they've ever won a state champ men's title, but I can tell you that this afternoon, Ringwood will be playing for their 5th in 7 years and their 3rd in a row. It's been an amazing run. The question is, will it come to an end here today on their home floor at the Rings? Hope you're well. Right around the world joining us through Sportscast and of course the Big V Facebook page. Looking forward to this one. We can see the Wildcats on our screen. There's the Hawks. Paul Langford, a very good afternoon to you. We're back again and there's no place we'd rather be as we celebrate Father's Day 2018 with a little bit of basketball.
Thanks for having me, Justin. I don't know about the no place I'd rather be. I can think of a few places that my family would like me right now, but I'm actually pumped to be here. The WrestleMania of the Big V calendar is upon us, and will we see a new champion crowned tonight?
Well, it was a startling turnaround last night. In Game 1, Ringwood 99-71 victors. They won that by 28. Last night, though, the Wildcats turned on a show themselves, 96-77 for a 19-point win. That was a 47-point turnaround as the Wildcats are being introduced in front of us. And we know that we've got lots of viewers from other parts of the world. Josh Sykes' family have been big viewers during this grand final series. A very good afternoon and welcome to you. I know it will be some other time zone wherever you may be watching from, the Sykes family. And I'm sure that for our other Americans in this game, Scotty Stone, Jacob Gibson, of course, Ellie Bonham, their families will be watching over in the States as well as their friends. So we welcome them in. And we should mention the huge crew out there at Eltham High School. They've got that big inflatable screen set up. They will be tuned in as well. A good afternoon to all of the Wildcats fans over there watching today also. The Hawks about to be introduced. We've got a lot to talk about in the next 5 minutes before tip-off. Last night was quite amazing to watch. And it will be interesting to see, Paul, how both teams react to the big talking point last night, which was 55 fouls, 4 players fouled out, including 3 from Ringwood, 54 trips to the foul line respectively across the two teams. How will the players adapt? Because we have the same refereeing panel today, I should say.
Yeah, look, it's going to be an interesting thing. I'd love to see. I think Ringwood found themselves on the back end of some of those calls last night, and I'm not saying that the calls were bad, but obviously a discrepancy in the free throw count. Hopefully they can overcome that today and just make a great ball game.
Rightio, the two teams are out there. They've been introduced. The crowd about to stand for our national anthem. And we are just 5 minutes away from a start in Game 3 of the 2018 Grand Final Series. Not too far away.
I'll be
So there it is, Game 3, the decider for the title of 2018. It will be a ripper. And as we saw during the national anthem, Benny Waldron looks relaxed, even gave the camera a bit of a wink then. So he'll be a star player today, no doubt. He has been in terrific form in games 1 and 2. Let's have a look at some of the key things that we're looking at for both teams this afternoon. Paul.
Okay, three things I think the Ringwood Hawks need to make adjustments from last night. First of all is defending without fouling. With or without the referees being on side, they need their star players in the game. They can't survive without them. The second thing I think they need to do is get in the passing lanes and stop some of Eltham's offense. I thought last night Eltham did a great job moving the ball in the half-court offense. They allowed them to get the ball inside very easy. Chris Cameron had a big purple patch there. Their shooters got going. Justin Ava had a much better game. Jordan Canavan had a much better game. And Josh Sykes had a huge improvement on game 1. Points in the paint was something Ringwood's normally very, very good at. Didn't get a lot of those trips last night. Still got to the free throw line nearly as many times as they normally do, but points in the paint was right good. For Eltham, I think they need to continue their ball movement. I thought their ball movement was sharp last night. They looked aggressive, they looked to attack, and I think that rewarded them with a great offensive performances. I think they need to run. Just looking around here today, even though it's a grand final game 3 and there might be some nerves here, there's definitely an element of a Sunday game here. There's some tired teams out there. The warm-up was very laboured by both teams, and I think it's really important that they get out and run and use that depth that they have. And the last thing for Eltham is they need to continue to get to the free throw line. Yep. They did a great job of doing that last night. And if they can get, maybe not there as much, but if they can sort of get there and get the same level of makes. They didn't shoot the ball well last night. They only shot it at 58%, but they made 21 free throws, which was much improved on game 1.
Got there 33 times last night. You just saw the starting fives up on screen. It looks like Sammy Whelan to start and Jordan Canavan coming off the bench. Of course, Canavan started last night. We'll just keep an eye on that in case there's any late changes. Let's just revisit last night because it is fresh in our memories. Of course, the Wildcats won by 19 to tie this series at 1-all. Key players last night for the winners. Josh Sykes played all 40 minutes. He had 24 points and 14 rebounds, 3 blocks as well. Ben Waldron with 21 points. Justin Ava and Chris Cameron with 15 points apiece. For the Hawks last night, battling foul trouble for the most part. Jacob Gibson had 18 points. Scotty Stone had 15. Matt Fennell had 12 points and 15 rebounds. We should also mention that Sean Clark last night played just 10 and a half minutes. He battled foul trouble from the outset. In fact, within less than 2.5 minutes, he found himself glued to the bench.
Yeah, that's a tough one for the Hawks. When you go through and scout teams and even trying to find best matchups, the Hawks are a great starting point because they are the 2-time champions. Sean Clark, when you think about, how are we going to find a matchup for him? Well, Eltham found a matchup for him, A, in Chris Cameron, but B, also by getting him to the bench with that early foul trouble. He creates a lot of matchup problems for teams because he's so strong, he's deceptively... He's so strong. He can get up and down the floor really well, and he's shooting the ball at 43% from the three-point line. So he's sort of like the premier centre that we use as a yardstick for scouting. So for him to only play 10 minutes, that's a huge blow for the Hawks last night. Chris
Cameron, by the way, drew 9 fouls last night, and I dare say that Sean Clark only played 10 because of the work that Chris Cameron did.
Did a lot of work, much improved work rate, great game by him, and it wasn't just his scoring output, it was his leadership around the court, which we were very fortunate to see from where we were standing here.
So there's Trevor Lee. He's had a wonderful season in charge of the Wildcats. He's addressing his team ahead of game 3, and no doubt he'll be looking for them to push the ball today, test out Ringwood's older bodies and see how they respond. The crowd in here at the rings await the start of the decider. There's Coach Ken Harrington in the foreground. Willie Weimer there with Damien Smith sitting on the sidelines, the assistants. Both of those gentlemen were absolutely terrific players in their own right when they ran around in the Big V competition. Willie Weimer, of course, captained the Hawks to championships in the past. Matt Snow shaking the hands of referee Gemma Tyrrell and his Eltham counterparts, loaded with experience. We've spoken to his fantastic ability many, many times. He saw, though, spoke to him before the game. He's feeling it, and he knows he's got a lot of work to do this afternoon. If the Hawks are to win 3 in a row in 5 in 7 years, the crowd is up, the excitement's up, and we are underway to start the decider as Gibson gets first use of the ball to Snow. In and out, finding a path out to Clark. They need this to start, and they don't get it. Fennell underneath, down and back up, and in. So the Hawks get underway. Gibson's come down on an ankle, by the way. Hopefully he's okay, running it out.
Looks like Ringwood is starting in a 2-3 zone here.
Gibson just caught someone's foot off that rebound, and he looks to be okay. Fennell with the first point. Sykes gets an early look, misses. Fennell down with the ball. So the Hawks up and going early.
I said I was going to stay off the referees tonight, but he was just called for a flop warning on that. He was hit fair in the face with an elbow there. It was probably a fair elbow, but there was no flop in that.
Sykes down with the early ball. So the Hawks up and going early. So flop warning goes against the Hawks. You saw it and called it.
I'd love to see a replay on that.
Looked like a hit to the chops, didn't it? Sykes with the early foul, and Fennell, who's certainly stated his intentions in the first 40 seconds with a basket, with a rebound, or a couple of rebounds, and a trip to the foul line. Misses the first. You know the champs are going to come out hard here, Paul.
It's great to see. I did mention yesterday that I thought Matt Fennell was a great accumulator of both points and rebounds, but he's come out with a really aggressive mindset to start the game.
Missed a couple from the foul line, though. There's Ava. I'll tell you what, that was close to cross court then. Ava jumped from the front court, caught it in midair and landed in the back. Ken Harrington certainly let the referee know about it. Waldron with his first look, misses. Bradbury, Clark, Bradbury, loose ball, Gibson. Away the Hawks, they lead by 2. Snow hands it off, they love that play. Gibson long 2, back of the iron, Sykes with the rebound.
Definitely a lot more energy in the crowd so far this tonight.
Wildcats looking for their first score. No, Bradbury, yes. They're up and away, the team in red. First points of the game. Snowball, quick transition. Can they keep it in? No, they can't. Turnover.
Great start by Bradbury. He had a pretty average game 1. I thought last night he had a much, much better improvement on his game, and between him and Chris Cameron, they did a great job as the 5 men for the Wildcats. Both teams pushing it early. We did have Whelan down to start for the Wildcats. We did say maybe Canavan. Canavan is out there. Ava for 3, loves the corner. And he fires bang on target to get his points tally underway. Good opening look. Clark, his second look from 3. He makes it in response. This is exactly what we wanted for the decider. Game 3 this afternoon, 5 apiece, and both teams have come to play. Yeah, great start. That last play there that Eltham run, they overload one side, send the shooters to the corner, and then they send it back for Ava. Overloaded the zone, they couldn't get back in time. Sykes comes up short. Fennell rescues it for the Hawks. Snow will look to create, goes to Clark. He loves that handoff back to the trailer, doesn't he? Foul off the ball, going against Jordan Canavan. Look, probably not many people would pick up on what just happened there, but Gibson shot the ball
I was about to say it, got his eye in.
Just to get the eye in, get to see the ball go through the net.
Here it is on replay, watch this, from a metre back.
It doesn't count, but for so many reasons it does.
You and I both noticed that. Ball into Fennell. Clark, now he is a long way out. Shawnee Clark, he only played 10 and a half last night. He has come to play this afternoon, and he's put a couple in. Foul down low against Sean Clark. He won't want too many of them early because he is firing at the other end.
He's fired up, isn't he? It's great to see. Hopefully he can stay without fouling, though. We want to see him in the game.
Well, he's drained a couple of big ones. That one was a long, long way out. Hawks lead it by 3. Canavan testing Snow. Long 2 misses. I reckon Matt Fennell's already got 4 rebounds. Quick transition. There's the big fella again. Makes it. So Sean Clark has 8 points early in this game, and he has got Team Green up and about. And the crowd is certainly right into it at the rings this afternoon.
Clark bodying him right up. I don't know if I'd be doing that after the game 2 we've just seen. Great defence by Scotty Stone here. Bit of an arm bar, got away with it, and Ringwood are off and running.
Forced the turnover. Packing the paint, the Hawks. Snow doesn't even look at the ring. Looking to hand it off. Gets it to Clark. One dribble, picks it up.
Fennell wants the ball against Jordan Canavan very much here. And there he is, mopping up.
Did well, timeout coming. There it is. And the Hawks crowd, have a look at them. They're up and about.
I think they've made more noise in the first 3 minutes and 49 seconds than they made all of last night. They are into it today.
Great start by the champs. We knew they were going to come out firing after last night. 12-5 the lead. 6:21 left in the first quarter.
Now, Justin, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Go.
Is this the first lead that Ringwood's had in the first quarter in this grand final series?
I reckon you are 100% spot on. Let's not forget, Eltham jumped out to a 10-point lead early in game 1. And then last night, they jumped out to an early lead, but still led by 2, I reckon, at quarter time from memory. They did. So you are spot on, Paul Langford. 12-5 is the lead. Hawks up by 7. Interesting.
Pay me the big bucks. I'm here for those special comments.
I'll tell you what's interesting. Only 3 fouls called. So the teams have adjusted, because I reckon by this time last night we'd already seen
both teams were in the bonus.
So both teams have clearly adjusted to last night's whistle. Great start by the Hawks. Fantastic start by Sean Clark. Has 8 of the 12 points. Drained a couple big threes. And the big fella has come to play. He was really disappointed last night, wasn't he? We saw him after the game.
Today.
Yep.
I was actually looking for a change out of that timeout. I was thinking that they might have gone to Chris Cameron already.
Sykes.
Great defence by Clark. Great straight up D. That's what we want to see.
Now, who's this on? Is it going to be on Canavan or Sykes? They were the 2 there. It's on Canavan, so that's his second. They'd both picked up an early foul. They were both running shotgun against Fennell, and it's gone on Canavan. Of course, Canavan is the matchup on Fennell. I reckon Matty Fennell's already had about 5 boards as well. So here we go. Fennell, Snow's actually tapped that over. Smart play to Scotty Stone. Well, how good was that from Matt Snow? That was absolutely 100% intentional. He flicked that on to the corner and found Stone for the 3. Foul called. Waldron will go to the line for a couple. Foul is on Gibson. Now watch this. Watch this. There's Snow in the middle. He taps that on. That is just clever. Bang. Well done, Matt Snow. Gibson with his first, by the way. 10-point lead, Hawks. Waldron getting his eye in from the foul line. If he gets going, look out. That's what the Eltham faithful will want. There they are in the crowd in the distance. Makes the second.
Just Matt Fennell's stats update there, Justin. He's got 4 points, 6 rebounds and 2 assists.
Boards, yeah. He's had a great start, Matt Fennell. How many rebounds did he take last night? I think he had about 15.
Yeah, he did, 15.
Oh, Sykes has just picked up his second. Clumsy foul, hands on. He just signals over to Trev Lee and says, it's okay, leave me in here. But that's his second. And I reckon he only had 1 foul for the whole game last night and stayed in the contest.
If I'm Ringwood right now, I'm going to that Scotty Stone versus Sykes matchup. He's too valuable. He's got 2 early fouls. You've got to make Trev make a change here.
Fennell finding a way inside, draws a foul. So the whistle's coming again. Foul is on Ava.
Based on what we've seen over the last 4.5 quarters, that was definitely a foul. I don't know how Ava can get too upset with that. Yeah, he's bodying into him. And for me, the only thing I want to make sure that happens is you protect the shooter. Play good physical basketball, but protect those shooters.
So Matt Fennell has been up and about, but not from the foul line. I reckon he's Is he 0 of 3 from here? He certainly missed his first 2. I'm not sure if he's been back there again. But he's looking to get his eye in. He's been huge on the glass. Makes that one.
So Ringwood out to a 9-point lead here.
There's some changes coming too, by the way. Mitch Lee about to come in for the Wildcats, who've now got to respond. It hasn't started the way that they would like. I reckon Chris Cameron won't be too far away either. Here's Ava fending off and called for it. No doubt about that call either. So Ava's picked up a couple, and the whistle going against the Wildcats right now. Here's a replay. Watch Ava. No doubt about that. Extended the armbar, and Gibson was nowhere near him, and he made contact. So I don't think you can complain about that one either. So Cameron in, Lee in, and the Wildcats need to just settle down and adjust here.
I like the fact that Trev hasn't taken out Ava, Canavan, or actually Canavan has gone out for the lead, but he hasn't taken out Ava or Josh Sykes. It's a big game. You need big players out there. They're not going to win the game for you sitting down.
Cameron on the rebound. That shouldn't be a foul on Chris Cameron, surely. It is. Gee, I don't know that both players locked arms then. That's a clear 50-50. You've got to let that one go. Both players locked arms. Just looking at the replay in the corner there of the... here it is. They're both locking arms. Surely. Surely. Anyway, Ringwood's getting the run of it early. They probably didn't get the run of it early last night. Clark misses. They're not making them pay from the charity stripe, though. Clark to look at his second here. He's been a powerful player early in the game. Makes that one.
9 points for Sean Clark.
Big start from Green 24. 10-point lead Hawks. Eltham in foul trouble early. Waldron will look. He'll take it. He'll come up short. Fennell, another board. That's his seventh.
Rebounds.
He's up the floor. Puts it in to the post. Here's Gibson burrowing his way through. Can't put it away. Ava for the Wildcats. Waldron outside. Lee to Ava. Open look. Bang. Responds. You can't give him that much time and space. He's hit a couple. That'll get the team in red fired up. They go into Ava.
They go Fennell against Mitch Lee there. Yep. Haven't run that play very much this series, but they love that little back screen play. The opposite big dives to the block. Nice little post isolation there for Matt Fennell to continue his form going.
I thought Ava was going to dig on him then, but he didn't come. Didn't go the double.
Speaking of digging, no dig that time by the defence, but Sean Clark was able to hold his ground. A much stronger player than Latham, and obviously Clark only played 10 minutes last night.
Matt Fennell could have a double-double. Stone 3! Well, that's third assist for Fennell. Stone's found his range early, wants the crowd up and going. Matt Fennell could end the first quarter with a double-double and a handful of assists. How will the Wildcats respond? It'll be a quiet Eltham High School stadium at the moment. Snow picked up for the foul. Sam Whelan about to come in. You can see him just preparing. Here's that last three. Fennell flicks it back out for Stone. Did not hesitate. Ava takes a break. Sean Clark, what a start from the big fella today.
Interestingly enough, that's the first sub for Ringwood.
Clark out, Latham in.
Not a bad sub.
Wildcats down by 12 against the reigning champs. Waldron out. Cameron steps around, gets it to Waldron for three. Can't make it. Sykes gets it. He will want to go off the glass and does. Stone with the foul. So Sykes kisses it off the glass. That's where he loves to be.
Sykes' first points for the afternoon.
Here he is here, working hard inside, no doubt about the foul. Looks at the bonus, makes it. He was very good from the foul line last night, Josh Sykes. Has two early fouls in this game. He's got to stay out there. Played all 40 minutes last night. Gibson. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What a great look. He was a mile out that time.
Scotty Stone. That's
And
his
he's
third
pumping
triple.
the crowd up there. Jacob Gibson looked at his bench a minute ago and told him to settle down, and Scotty Stones looked at the crowd and told him to get up.
Cameron for three. Can't make it. And that's what Ringwood has done early
Look
in
at
this
Stone.
game.
He wants it bad here on this right wing. They're going to go Gibson side. Stones trailing behind.
Latham, yes. Massive start by the Hawks. They're out by 14. The champs have come to play. They have put the foot on the gas early in this one. They want more. They want more. They're going to get more. Scotty Stone! Bang! He is dominating this opening quarter, and the crowd is responding. It's a 16-point margin. The decider is going the way of the Hawks right now. Gibson called for a foul off the ball.
Gibson didn't even hesitate then, went straight to the bench. Haven't seen much of Gibson today. He hasn't had an opportunity. He's only had 2 shot attempts. We'll see Nathan Truman for his first minutes.
He's got a couple of fouls. Stone's got 11, has he? Is that right? 11 points?
11 points for Stone, 9 for Sean Clark, and 7 for Matt Fennell.
How many rebounds Matt Fennell right now?
He's up to 9 rebounds.
9 rebounds in the opening quarter. Scotty Stone, is he shooting at 100%? Is he 4 of 4 or 4 of 5?
He is 4 of 4.
Wow, big start. Waldron nails a couple. They need every point they can get right now as we head towards quarter time because they trail by 14. Swings and roundabouts. Ringwood won game 1 by 28. Eltham game 2 by 19. Ringwood lead this one right now
to come to the post here
by 14. Stone unconscious. Wow. 5 of 5, 4 triples. He wants more from the crowd. How much more can you give him? He has hit 13 in the opening quarter, Scotty Stone. Quite remarkable. He cannot miss.
We've got a mismatch here in the post. Sykes, the Truman, great double team off the corner by Stone.
He's
and
fouled.
There's going to be a foul.
We'll go to the line for a couple. How is this first quarter? Here it is here again. Watch Scott Stone. He just does not hesitate. Stone.
Barely touched the net. Beautiful arcing shot.
Stone, Fennell, Clark. Remarkable. How many times have I used the word remarkable in 9 minutes?
It's been a remarkable turnaround. Ben Waldron going to the bench there. He's only got 4 points today, which is a slow start for him. His first quarters have been exceptional so far this year. And the funny thing is, most of his looks from three-point range in games 1 and 2, he was a little bit more off balance and made those shots, and today he hasn't been able to find any success.
Look at the looks on the faces in the Eltham crowd. They are absolutely stunned. Stunned.
Justin, I'm stunned.
The champs. That's why they're the champs. They're going for their 5th title in 7 seasons. Stone, first miss, foul off the ball, and it's against the Wildcats. Now, we've seen this a few times over the last 24 hours. Fouls underneath the basket. That's the second one already today.
Does Matt Fennell get credited for a rebound on that? I think he would, wouldn't he? So he's got 10 boards before quarter time.
Just give him one. Give him another one. He's already got 7 points. Goes to the line. This has been his Achilles heel so far in this game. And he rolls the first in.
All of his free throws short and flat. That time, short and flat again, but he did get a bit of a shooter's roll on that one.
Imagine the Ringwood supporters, their feeling last night compared to the opening 10 minutes of today.
18 points up at quarter time.
They've scored 34. They've only gone better than that in the opening term once this quarter on their home deck. And I know because it was against McKinnon. I think they scored 40 on us. Sykes. Well, fouls on Matt Fennell underneath. Not sure that he could have done too much about that, to be honest.
I actually don't know that he saw where Sykes was. I don't think he intentionally fouled. He just tried to anticipate where the ball was going to.
Didn't even see him. You're right. Not intentional at all. Unlucky.
Most fouls out though.
So just off to the background here, Matt Snow's just gone up to Scotty Stone and had a word to him. What do you reckon he would have been saying? Get yourself open for this last play.
Yeah, look, 25 seconds to go on the game clock here. There's a 1.4-second difference.
Ball's coming to you.
I don't want him. If I was a betting man, I'd have a fair idea where the ball's going.
Well, Eltham's going to get it back. Can they keep it in? They can't.
In fact, this probably works better for their favour because now they will get the last shot of the quarter.
Mitch Lee, I reckon Mitch Lee was fouled then, by the way, too, but there was no call. Fairly unlucky. I reckon Scott Stone might be the target here. I think there's a big chance.
Bit of full court pressure here by the Wildcats.
Well, they don't want to foul. It's an 18-point margin, believe it or not. 18 points. So Snow's going to play this one out. 8 seconds. There's Stone. It's gone to Fennell, and they've lost it. They've lost it in the corner, and it's going to give Eltham a look with 4 seconds to go. 4.1 to be exact. They're going to get a look. Whelan up the floor. Has to put it up, and does, and doesn't make it. So quarter time, and it has been a quarter to remember for the Ringwood Hawks. They lost last night by 19 points. They were flat and dejected. They have come out today and they have absolutely shown the class, the experience, and everything that we expect from the reigning two-time champs. And they go in at the first break up by plus 18. Remarkable shooting, incredible quarter from 3 players in particular, notwithstanding every other Hawk out there. But Matt Fennell, Sean Clark, and Scotty Stone, sublime. The 3 of them, triple-headed monster in that opening 10 minutes. Here's some highlights as we go through some stats.
So for the Hawks, Scotty Stone had 14 points in that quarter, 5 of 6 shooting. Matt Fennell, 9 points and 9 rebounds on 100% shooting. And Sean Clark, 9 points on 3 of 5 shooting. The Hawks shooting 67% from the field and 75% from the three-point line. Justin and I were talking before the game. We said Ringwood were down on their season average of 10.4 three-pointers per game last night.
Guess what?
Only had 9 for the night. They're already well on target to smash that tonight. Only 4 of 8 from the free throw line, so it's pretty crazy that this league could be even bigger. For the Wildcats, not too many people troubling the scorers table. Only Justin Abel leads them with 6 points, Sykes with 4, Waldron with 4.
So a couple of things that stand out to me straight away. Ringwood, 12 rebounds to Eltham's 6, 9 assists to Eltham's 2, and that shooting percentage, 66.7 to Eltham's 28.6. Matt Fennell, 9 points, 9 rebounds in the first quarter. And just looking at the Eltham Brains Trust as they went into that quarter-time huddle, just absolutely blown away. You just sit there and you look at everything we've just spoken about. Ringwood just came out and blew them off the court.
Ellie Bonham in for his first minutes here tonight, and it looks like Chris Cameron's going to pick up an offensive foul here.
Well, he thinks the foul's on Latham. You're going to see him go straight to the referee here. He thought the foul was on Latham. There he is talking to Gemma Tyrrell. He can't believe it. That's his second, by the way, not the start the Wildcats wanted. They're on the back foot already and they're down by 18. They've got to respond. Bonham onto the court now, running on Matt Snow. Goes in to Latham, back to Snow. Needs some movement. They want Stone open. Snow goes it alone, rolls out. And another foul off the ball. And this is going to be against Canavan, I reckon. That'll be his third. Here's the replay.
Mitch Lee's picked up the foul
It's
there.
Lee underneath on the push. You're right. You're right. It is Mitch Lee. So nothing going. That's Lee's second, by the way. Stone from the corner makes it. They run that off the baseline time and time again, and they continue to score from it. Stone's got 15, is it now?
16 points.
16 points in the game. 20-point margin. Cameron. Nothing going
Great
right
double
for the
team
Wildcats.
by Nate Truman there. Very quick on it. Nearly forced to travel.
Cameron's
Great
got to look.
defense
He's
by
got to look.
Latham.
It's going to come up
Couldn't
short.
shake him.
And there's another foul off the ball. Truman with the foul. So off rebounds today, or attempted rebounds, my count is that's 5 fouls called now. So they're right onto it. You've got to adjust. They have not missed a thing in the paint off rebounds. You have to change. Sykes, long two,
Falling
not
away,
his shot.
not his shot.
No. And Snow comes up with it.
I like Sykes' mindset in game 2. He came out, he was aggressive going to the rim. Ringwood don't really have a good matchup for him, but when he's shooting those fadeaways, it makes it easier for the smaller players to guard him.
Fennell. Oh, fouled by Bonham. Yep. Bonham just didn't need to come in there, Bonham. It'll be on him from behind. Here's the replay again. Watch this. He comes in, just didn't need to do that. Clumsy foul. And that potentially will get the margin out to 23. It's 22 right now. Nothing going the way of the Wildcats here. They've already had 3 fouls called on them in 1:20. Fennell's Achilles heel is right here. And he makes it.
Another short and flat one, but rattles it home.
Well, he's now got 12 in the game. Can the Wildcats respond? Foul on Fennell.
I like Eltham's going inside there. They haven't gone inside a lot tonight. Their ball movement's been a little bit laboured. Going inside, Fennell just a little bit ambitious trying to pick that one off, and I think he's going to get a bit of a break here.
Yep.
Second foul, so Salty's going to see his first minutes.
And Salty came in and played well in his couple of minutes last night. So the Ringwood crowd getting him up and going, and no doubt some cheers for Matt Fennell, who has been incredible in the first 12 minutes of this game. Canavan hits 2. Badly needed. Technical foul called on Truman. Not sure what it was for. We'll have a look at the replay in a moment. But the referee did not hesitate in blowing the whistle. Here's the replay.
Truman's just looked out of sorts this series. I know he hasn't been getting into the lineup early.
Well, he's on Waldron here. Just watch this. We know Canavan's going to hit the foul. Watch 13 Green. Ran into Cameron, gets up, and clearly says something to the referee. Clearly, and that's the technical foul. So some respite for the Wildcats. I'm not sure who called the timeout, but I reckon it might have been Ken Harrington.
Yeah.
Smart.
Quick timeout, settle
Smart.
down. Hey guys, we're out to a 23-point lead. Let's shut up and play.
Don't need to talk to the referees. Don't need technical fouls. Don't need to give Eltham any more of an opportunity to take a look. You're right, we're out by plenty. In fact, the lead's 21. Just seen a score. What's that? Division 2 women. Craigieburn has won Game 3 decider by 2 over Blackburn. You won't be happy about that.
Disappointing finish for the season. They had a very epic finals run there, but unfortunately couldn't get the chocolates on Craigieburn's home court.
So Ken Harrington talking to the Hawks. There's Trev Lee talking to the Wildcats. 21-point margin. You just got to chip away. In these situations, you and I both, as coaches, have been in these situations before. It's not a good feeling. You just have to chip away, don't you?
You can't eat an elephant all at once, as they say. So I think Eltham's just got to keep eating it bit by bit.
Who says that?
I say a lot of stupid stuff.
Canavan.
And we didn't mention Canavan's now 88% free throw shooting percentage there, because it has dropped the last 2 times. We've wrapped him up as being their technical free throw shooter. He's missed him. So we shut up there and he obliged and made one for us.
I don't know that I've ever heard someone say you can't eat an elephant all at once.
I'm sure we'll get some people on the Facebook page. Let me know that they've heard it before. Justin, it's just an education thing for you, mate.
No animals were harmed here this afternoon, by the way.
Well, the Wildcats are. They're getting
right.
beaten up.
Bonham did not even look at the basket then. Into Sykes. They've got to do something from here. Canavan launches. Rolls out. He nearly nailed it, actually. Latham with the rebound. Hawks by 20.
Oh, God.
Snow doubled at the half.
Only just got it over the halfway line before the 8 seconds.
Bonham leaning on him here. You'd want to be careful. Look at this. Osborne Gee, I tell you what.
Osborne loves the top of the key three. He was probably too close for him. I think he likes that extra step out. Great defense by Salty there. Osborne gambled left. Canavan wide open, and he made him pay.
Yep. They need to hit a few more of those. Brings it back to 17.
Oh, that had to be a foul.
And I reckon that Waldron just stepped in at the last second.
I think he lifted his arm a little bit as well from the angle we had.
Just made it look a little bit clumsy, didn't he? There's the Canavan three. We'll see if we get a replay of the foul.
Waldron picks up his first foul. Scotty Stone going to the one here. Jacob Gibson's had an extended absence out of the game. I'm wondering, even though he had some foul trouble last night, whether or not he might be carrying an injury. He just hasn't been the same player that we've come to expect from him.
Latham wants it on Cameron. Cameron's got a couple. Want to be careful here. Plays good D. And Sykes picks up the mess. So the Wildcats come back. They've found a little bit of voice in the last couple of minutes. Here's Waldron. This would be nice. Short. Salty may have been foul. In fact, it's Sykes. So Sykes has got his third. The referee's seen that from a fair distance. It was clearly off the ball. And Ringwood will go to the line here. So Sykes with three, and this is dangerous territory right now for the Wildcats because he's going to have to sit.
He's coming out. He's not happy, but three fouls with 27 minutes left in the ball game. You've got to manage those fouls.
I didn't quite see it. Maybe it was holding. The referee was right onto it. Geez, there's some forlorn-looking faces in the Eltham crowd, isn't there?
You know who I saw from the Eltham crowd earlier today, Justin, was Greg Jeffers.
Saw him, yeah.
Must have been a big game for him to venture out of the leafy northeastern suburbs and grace us with his presence.
Doesn't often. Sean Clark coming in for Latham. And
Matt Roberts his first
Matty
action
Roberts.
for Salty. Big ovation for the two of them.
Well, I saw Greg Jeffers before the game as well, and he literally has not stopped talking about the Melbourne Football Club in the AFL. Back in the finals after a long absence. Loves it. Here's Bonham again, and again they sag off him, just not even looking at the basket. Goes inside this time, hands it off to Canavan, who's surrounded by Green. You can pick any one of the three here for the foul. It's going to be on Osborne. That's the foul. I don't know if Osborne touched him in the end.
It's a pretty tough call, but give the referee the benefit of the doubt. We haven't given him a lot of benefit over the last 5.5 quarters, so that was a foul.
Well, they're a bit closer than what we are as well. As Canavan makes the first. Margin's back to 17. Now it's back to 16. So, chip away, chip away, chip away. Stone hasn't missed a thing, or missed only the rare shot or two. Bonham not happy, and the referee almost taunting him there with the whistle back in the mouth.
I'm not a fan of that by the referee. Like,
no need for that.
If it's tech worthy, then call the technical. If it's not, just have a nice quiet word to him. Tell him to relax. It's a grand final. Of course he's going to be fired up.
You want to see a little bit of emotion, don't you?
Absolutely.
That's what we're here for.
We're robots by the time we're all dead and buried.
I don't mind that little bit of emotion. Anyway, Snow goes to the line. Mind you and I are talking like typical coaches.
Politically incorrect old grumpy guys here.
I reckon I've had a few texts this season for a little bit of emotion here and there. Snow hits the first.
I don't know what you're talking about, Justin.
And the second. Back out to 18. 6.5 to go in the opening half of game 3.
The defence there by Matt Snow was phenomenal. He knew that back cut was going and he left his own man open. He had the ball, took the gamble off Christian Williams.
Uh-oh. Don't tell me. Oh, Tommy just missed too. Oh, Scotty Stone.
I like that known call by the referees. I think they've been a lot better today. And I think full credit to Ringwood for making the adjustment, but Clark has just picked up a cheap body foul. And is that his third?
Well, Chris Williams will go to the line for a couple. Not his second. I'll check the stats for you. It is his second.
Second foul. Hopefully we can see some more of him because
Well, it's not bad.
had a
'cause
great first quarter.
he had 2 in 2 minutes 20 last night, so he's lasted a little bit longer today. So Chris Williams at the line for a couple.
So Jacob Gibson's now been off for the last 6 minutes.
long
We'd
time, isn't it?
like to see him back in the game shortly.
Remember I said early in the game he landed awkwardly on a rebound on his ankle, and just don't know if that's got anything to do with it. We can't quite see the Ringwood bench from where we are, but he has been off for a long time now. Back to 16. Eltham needs to step up and play clean D. They cannot keep putting Ringwood to the foul line here. Trying to get Stone open.
Great switch there by the Eltham defence. Blind screen coming from Snow. He's going to turn it down. A little bit too much dribble here.
Does get the shot up and makes it.
Wow.
Well, when that's happening, you know it's your day. You know it's your afternoon at the office, Scott Stone. His first half could quite well lead Ringwood to their 3rd straight title and their 5th in 7 years. It has been an opening 15 minutes for the ages for Scott Stone. And they've just got to keep going to him here. He cannot miss.
Great back
There
cut.
he is again. Well, the only time he can miss is when he's falling to the floor underneath the basket. On that occasion, just couldn't put it away. Benny Waldron for 2. That'll get the Wildcats up and about. Great drive to the hoop. He's doing all he can, Ben Waldron. 29 points in game 1. 21 points in game 2. And he's trying to lift his Wildcats here this afternoon in game 3. Makes it another one from the foul line. 45-29. Where's Scott Stone? All eyes on Scott Stone. There he is.
Ben Waldron's picking up Matt Snow right now, so I don't know if he's carrying an injury or if they've got some better matchups there, but no doubt he's going to play a bit of a loose man on defence. You can see him already starting to help out on Clark.
Williams with the rebound. Up the floor quickly. He's got loose players on the weak side.
Ava screaming for
Wide open. Ball inside to Cameron. Just manages to control
Great
it.
hands again by Snow, but Waldron to the rim.
And fouled, and that'll be Clark's 3rd. Clark's 3rd. Here it is here. Cameron did well to juggle that. Here's the drive, and Clark just stepped up. Yeah. 3rd foul. Latham comes in for Sean Clark. And Waldron goes back to the line. Don't think he's missed from the line this afternoon. He's been pretty good. He's got the chance to bring it back to 14, and Jacob Gibson back into the game. So there you go. He's back out there.
Was running a little gingerly when he came back in. Bit of that knee jog.
Well, I reckon when we hear the ins and outs of the game afterwards, I think you'll find that Jacob Gibson did an ankle in the first, probably the first minute of the game, wasn't it?
It was early. I think it was the first possession, wasn't
Yep.
it? Contesting a rebound.
I reckon you're right, as Waldron hits another couple from the foul
There's
line.
Cameron coming out and he's not happy.
Bradbury comes in. So
I
it's
love
back,
the competitive spirit there. He doesn't want to come out. He wants to be out there.
back to 14.
He's telling his teammates, get down the bench. I'm sitting up here. Probably going to be in the assistant coach's ears saying, get me back out there, guys.
If Eltham can get this down to single digits, it'll
Stone.
serve their purpose well out of court.
Stone unlucky there. A little bit extra dribble there by Stone. I'd like to see him run a little more, a few more plays for him without the ball. And it, maybe, no, they're not in the zone. It looked like they were about to set up in one, but they're not.
Do you fancy Eltham's chances in the second half if they can get this back to single digits? Ringwood's been incredible.
They have. Look, Fennell's had an extended rest. Gibson, whether he's injured or not, has had an extended rest. Sean Clark will now have an extended rest, probably only play 10 minutes for the half. Granted, there's foul trouble.
Well, that doesn't help. Turnover. Osborne won't miss this.
And Ringwood now hold a 16-point lead. But, look, after the way they played last night, you can't discount Eltham. They had a hell of a game last night. See if they can get it going again. And this does definitely look like a zone.
Josh Sykes with 3 fouls if you've just joined us. Ball into Bradbury. Has to put this off the glass and does.
Great finish by the big man. Stone out and running early. And Snow was looking for him, just didn't have the confidence to throw that one.
A huge 3 minutes coming up. The battle for this year's title. Osborne deep 2 misses. So important which team can capitalise on the next 3 minutes.
Great defence by Snow, met him early there, forced him back onto his left-hand side, didn't allow him to get to his right hand.
Canavan, was he fouled? He was. He'll go to the line for a couple, and we know that he's very, very good from the strike. So they continue to chip away.
A bit of a defensive breakdown there by Ringwood on that last possession. I think there was a few of them playing that zone, and a few of them were in a man-to-man. Ken Harrington's going to call a timeout, probably get them all on the one page.
Well, they've just got to hold sway here, going with a double-digit lead. It has been the champs of old so far in this game, no question. Their first quarter, they led 34-16 at quarter time, 18-point margin. It's now at 14 with the Wildcats to go to the line. Here's Scotty Stone. Here he is here. This was a massive shot. You just cannot play better defence than that. Eltham back the other way. Ben Waldron has done everything he can this quarter to get his Chargers going.
A bit of a stats update for us, Justin. Scotty Stone, 19 points on 7 of 10 shooting.
How many threes? 5?
5 of 6 from the three-point line. Matt Fennell has 12 points and 9 rebounds. Hasn't played much this quarter. He's only played 11 and a half minutes, so he's off to a solid start. Clark picked up 9 points in his 9 minutes 40 before he went to the bench with a third foul. For the Wildcats, Ben Waldron starting to accumulate a few points up to 9. Canavan's on to 8, Ava on to 6, and both Bradbury and Sykes on 4.
So Canavan to the line for a couple. Now, if he nails these, and I think you said he's about 88% now on the season.
Nothing but cotton that time.
This would bring it back to 12.
Jordan Canavan started the game really, really well last night and then had a bit of a shooting slump. He finished 2 of 11 from the field. He was out here shooting around when they were basically sweeping the courts and turning the lights off.
He does it every game.
He does it all the time. He's very passionate, takes a lot of pride in his performance.
Gibson for 2, misses. He lost Canavan on the curl cut on that occasion. Ava, nowhere to go. Foul called on Osborne, and that was, I know I've used the word clumsy a few times, but in the context of what's been called in this grand final series, that just looked a little bit clumsy.
It's basically the same foul that took place as the last possession, and now he's going to have to go to the bench with a third foul, and Max Sutton will see his first minutes for the game.
Well, if Ava can hit 2, it brings it back to 10. They are hanging in there, the Wildcats.
You know what they say, Justin? You just got to need an elephant one bit at a time.
Do they say that one as well?
They definitely say that at Blackburn.
Is there any chance you can bring another animal into the conversation? He's made both. It's back to 10. Game on. 2.5 to go in the opening half. This is what we wanted. Hope you're enjoying it. From your armchair, from your car, from out walking the dog, whatever you may be doing, watching on your computer, on the phone. Stone for 3. No, can't make it. Tapping. Very good. Was that Max Sutton?
No, that was
Gibson.
Jacob Gibson. And way to get yourself back into the ball game. Go and get yourself a board and a tip-in.
Bad pass, Ava. Turnover.
And here we go. He's got shooters to his left and right. Gibson, he wants it again. Got plenty of time and nice little mid-range. Rattles it home.
10-14. 10-14 in the blink of an eye.
And Ringwood calling their 2. That's their call for a 2-3 zone. Max Sutton kind of playing his zone. No, he's back with them.
They've responded again, the Hawks. Canavan foot on the line. It's a 2.
Canavan off to a great start.
I reckon he's got 12, 14 points in the game. 1.5 to go, opening half of game 3. 12-point margin. Hawks led by 18 at quarter time. Great ball inside to Latham. Up and under and in.
And Ringwood just starting to get a little bit of momentum back, and boy, you can hear it from the crowd.
Yep, game's opened up in the last couple of minutes.
How quickly can Ringwood turn a game? I mean, they've got 53 points on the board. We've still got a minute 10.
Waldron driving to the hoop again. He's done that a few times this quarter with success.
Last 60 seconds. It's a 12-point game. Eltham has won this quarter, but they lost the first by 18. Bradbury, miss.
Just
away.
too tall. He just worried him out of that shot. He tried to shake him off with that little shimmy.
Williams to the basket. Coast to coast, Chris Williams. And that gets the Red Army up and about. Back to 10. Best play of the series from Chris Williams.
I think Williams is going to check out here. He is holding his knee, so he is a bit tired. But after that play, Sam Whelan looked straight at Trevor Lee and said, "Are you sure you want him to take me out?" He said, "Yes, mate, you go in there." So great confidence to put in his young player.
This would bring it to single digits. And he's missed it.
Great selflessness too by Sam Whelan, because he did the same thing last night when Jordan Canavan hit a couple of shots early on.
That was an Ivan Platnick free throw. Anytime Ivan knew that he was going to get subbed out off his shot, he'd always miss it. Always. They've got it. Great steal. Waldron, one way, then the other. Wants the basket. Ooh, over the head to Ava, but Gibson was there to pick it off. And back come the Hawks.
We'll have the last possession of the game here. Stone is buck naked open on the weak side. He wants the ball, and they've only just finally found him.
Shot clock is just inside by 2 seconds. So they're going to take this.
They've got to call that foul. That's not an offensive foul. I'm sorry.
It's on Stone.
I was watching that play evolve from the start. I'd love to see the replay.
He's not happy, and he's been teed up.
That's two bad calls.
Hawks don't need this. They don't need this. And you just got to have some tolerance. Just give him a warning.
Look at Ava wearing him like a cheap suit here.
So here it is. See if the camera's picked. It's underneath. And there it is.
Just
We
out of line of
just saw
sight.
it. And he's walking away frustrated with himself. There he is. You can just see it at the end. Walking away, not looking at the ref, not directing any communication to the ref. Walking away frustrated. Getting up the court and away from the action, and he's been teed up. And the lead's back to 9.
Waldron's going to play the point here against young Matt Sutton.
6 seconds.
They're going to go to a middle pick and roll to finish the quarter.
Three.
Lucky not to pick up a foul.
Cameron, doesn't make it. What a first half of basketball. Ringwood wins the first quarter by 18. Eltham wins the second quarter by 9. The troops are up and about. The crowd is up and about. And they are ready for a massive second half. It's game 3 of the 2018 Grand Final Series. One apiece coming in. And at halftime, the Hawks lead by 9. We will take you right through the stats in just a moment. But Paul Langford, this is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, great to see Eltham get a little bit of momentum to finish that quarter off. A few fortunes fell their way, and geez, the Eltham crowd made some noise and clapping their team off as they walked to the half-time break.
Oh, they're in it. They're in the battle. They're in the fight. The war continues. They're still going. At quarter time, they were down 18, and they held faith. They chipped away. They stayed in the battle. And they go in not only at 9 up, 9 down, having won the second quarter by 9, but they go in with some momentum because it's off the back of a tech foul. Ringwood need to go in and talk. They need to settle down. They've had a wonderful first half, the team in green. The reigning champs. Their first quarter was quite incredible. But now they're being tested again. They lead by 9. Here's the stats.
Okay, for the Hawks, Scotty Stone, no surprises there, 19 points on 7-11 shooting. Matt Fennell, 12 points to go along with 9 rebounds. And Sean Clark, 9 points in 9 minutes. For the Wildcats, we've got Jordan Canavan off to a great start with 13 points. Ben Waldron now up to 11. And Justin Ava chipping in with 8. Everyone else in single digits. A big stat to come out of that quarter. Ben Waldron 7 for 7 from the free throw line. Canavan 6 of 6 from the free throw line. They've been to the free throw line 23 times, 14 that quarter, and shooting the ball 83% from the free throw line. So massive difference there again. And look, Ringwood have been bombing it away from behind the arc, so we can't completely fault the referees for that one. But you know, anytime you can get to the free throw line 23 times in a half, you're always going to put it within striking distance. And it's not only that, it's the foul trouble now that starts to creep in for the Hawks. Scotty Stone having a massive game is on 3.
Including that tech foul.
Stephen Osborne is on 3. And Sean Clark, according to our stats, is on 4.
Is that right?
I didn't think it was, but what am I to argue?
Let's have a look at the fouls for the Wildcats. 3 fouls is the one that stands out, and that is on Sykes. So Sykes has 3, and there's a whole host of players on 2. 31 fouls called in the first half today, I should say. 31 fouls. Yesterday there was 36 called in the first half. So really, there's been no change up with the way that the referees are adjudicating the game, which in one respect is a good thing, because you come out and you know what you're going to get. The players need to adapt, because fouls, again, could play a massive role in the result of this game this afternoon. Last night, 4 players fouled out, including 3 Hawks. Just watching the highlights of the first half, Scotty Stone just came to play today. His opening 20 minutes, 19 points. Just let himself fray a little at the edges to finish the first half, though, with a foul called and then a tech foul. Although for mine, walking away from the situation, frustrated with himself and talking to himself, back to the referee, and I can't hear what he said. There's another one of the big shots. That was a huge shot. I'm not sure what he said, but for mine, he was unlucky to get teed up. Give him a warning by all means. Stop the game and have a chat to him. But it's a grand final. It's game 3. And you've got to let them play. You've got to let that emotion and passion come out, because that's what we love to see. Sean Clark's first quarter today, for a man who left the game clearly frustrated last night, his start today is exactly what we've come to expect from him all season. And at half-time, it's back to a 9-point margin. There was that other big 3 from Sean Clark. Got the crowd up and going. And the fans have been right into it. How was that for a play? The tap on to Stone for 3. Matt Snow doing what he does best. He's one of the best in the business and has been for so long. He's got 3 assists in the game. Other players with 3 dimes. Matt Fennell has 3. Jacob Gibson has 3 assists. 3 players with 2 assists each for the Wildcats. So it comes down to the next 20 minutes. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you may be watching on from around Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, anywhere in the world. I know we'll have a lot of viewers over in the States. And you will not be leaving us, no doubt, at any stage during this second half. We're going to crown a champion today to finish off what has been a huge 2008 season in Big V State Champ. Justin Nelson and Paul Langford with you. I guess we came into last night, Paul, thinking that we'd have today off, but Eltham responded with a 47-point turnaround from game 1. But what we've seen in the opening half here is we've seen exactly why Ringwood are the champs.
Yeah, out to a tremendous first quarter. You know, they got out to a 34-point first quarter. 19's not bad for a second quarter, but obviously Eltham putting a few more points on the board in that second quarter. Look, I'm looking forward to this second half here, Justin. 9-point game, a little bit of momentum Eltham taking into the half, so will be interesting to see how both teams come out, particularly with those Ringwood fouls. I just think that's going to, at some point, it's going to be a factor in the game.
Well, put your coach's hat on, preferably without any talk of wildebeest or African animals.
I don't think elephants are endangered. I think if I was doing a rhino, I could understand that people might be a bit up in arms. It's a metaphor, by the way.
I know that. I've got that. I've picked that up. Kenny Harrington, what's he said at halftime?
Look, knowing Ken the way I do, he's not one to get on his guys. He's and look, when he is, he almost creates an us and them type effect. I think with a 9-point game, he's not going to get on the guys. He's going to tell them just to refocus, make sure they just keep off the refs and focus on what they do well. I think if they do that, there's no reason why they shouldn't win this game here.
All right, flip it to the other change rooms.
Well,
Trevor Lee.
if I'm Trevor Lee, I think you just got to continue to build on what you finished the quarter off with. They finished that second quarter strong, 9-point turnaround that quarter. I'd be saying we've got the momentum on our side and just making sure that they've got they continue that momentum into the third quarter.
Well, we're just hearing from the bench that Sean Clark's got 4, but for ours he's got 3. So, not sure about that. It should be 3. I cannot remember a 4th foul. But we're being told he's got 4. So that is pivotal. That is a big thing for Ringwood to think about in this second half. The big fella's got 4, we're being told.
A lot of discussions going on between the score bench and the stats crew here.
Well, I saw the Ringwood coaching staff at the score bench. I knew exactly what they were talking about because we were a little bit dumbfounded as well. It'd make for great viewing watching the replay of the first half to count the fouls, but I only saw 3. But I've been wrong once or twice before, Paul. In fact,
I don't believe that.
Nearly every night on Big V TV, I say something that's incorrect. 9-point margin. They're going through their last instructions before the second half started. What a great way for season 2018 to come to an end. The Wildcats are still in it. Everyone out at Eltham High School, stay tuned. Don't move. Keep your eyes glued to that big inflatable white screen because we are set for a massive culmination to the year.
How does an inflatable screen work?
Well, either Greg Jeffers is full of a hot air and spent most of Friday night blowing the thing up. Might have got a bike pump out, I don't know. I'll go with the Jeffers theory, I think.
Do you reckon anyone's got a remote control changing the channels, especially when Ringwood were out to that big lead in the first? Let's see if there's any footy on.
I'll tell you one inflatable I've never seen. I've never seen an inflatable dartboard, have you?
No, I have not. Now the starters here, the Hawks with Scott Stone with those fouls, they're going to start with Nathan Truman in the lineup.
That's the only change from the start of the game. The only
Sean
change.
Clark is out there. They're still trying to work out how many fouls he's on.
Well, Trev Lee's buying into the conversation now. He's come up to the bench and is just wondering what's going on.
I think he muttered the word 5 just then. No, I'm lying. He didn't say that. But I'm sure he's just like Ken. They're standing around. They just want some clarification. Well, obviously, it's going to be a big thing.
Yeah. This is the hold-up. They're trying to work out how many fouls Sean Clark's got. You can see Trev Lee there now asking a couple of questions. So we're about to find out because it is big. It's important. Trev Lee thinks it's 4. He'll want it to be 4. No mistake. If I was in his shoes, I'd want it to be 4 as well.
Absolutely.
Referee Adrian Petrie there with him as well. Just trying to work it out. But that is the hold-up, ladies and gentlemen, to the start of this second half. Trying to work out how many fouls Sean Clark has got.
For the Eltham Wildcats, their starting 5 remains unchanged from the last of the games 2 and 3 with Jordan Canavan starting in.
So we're just waiting to find out what the decision is going to be as we prepare for this second half. If you've just joined us, Ringwood led this Game 3 decider at quarter time by 18. At half-time, that margin is reduced to 9. Now, if Eltham come out this quarter and do what they did in the second quarter, we go into the final quarter of the season all tied up. That would be a dream come true.
Look, I think either way, it's shaping up to be a hell of a series. Now, we didn't get any clarification from the bench, but I do believe...
Well, Ken Harrington didn't look happy when he walked away. So I'm not sure whether it's 3 or 4, but we're right to go. You know when we're going to find out, don't you? We're going to find out.
Find out the hard way. They are saying 3 fouls, so that has been sorted. Good for Sean Clark. We want to see him out there.
Fennell, no, can't make it. And there's a hit to the head, and I reckon it's going to be a Ringwood ball, and it's on Sykes. That's his 4th. Now, is it after the shot?
No, she's called 2 shots on that.
Off the rebound. Hit to the
so
head.
he tapped it up there and a bit of contact on the head. Unfortunately, Sykes, he was a star for them in game 2, and we want to see him out there.
He's a bit of a passenger then too, because he was just going for the rebound.
Yep.
Just happened to be that Fennell had stepped up inside him.
Mitch Lee coming in, no doubt, for Josh Sykes.
Who has lasted 11 seconds of this third quarter. 11. Fennell hits both, back out to an 11-point lead. Mitch Lee comes in for Sykes, and really, Trevor Lee had no choice then. You've got to take him out.
Yeah, look, in a regular season game, I tend to agree with you, but big decisions need to be made in big games. You saw it last night with the Hawks going the distance.
Ava, sorry to jump in, but yep. Ava's just hit a big 3 for the Wildcats, and it's back to 8.
So the Hawks went with Matt Snow picking up his 4th foul early in the third quarter last night and persevered with him.
Fennell gets inside again and gets his own rebound again. How does he do it?
Timing is so great on that, and he's probably unlucky not to pick up another foul on that rebound.
Canavan for 3, no.
Nice line drive.
It's almost as if Fennell intentionally goes over the ring on his shot. Here's Truman, and clumsy foul by Bradbury.
Truman still can't make a layup, shaking his head. He's not happy, but look, for a shooter like Truman, hopefully he can get to the free throw line here and get his rhythm going.
Bradbury just needed to put his hand up then and swat it away. Didn't need to step in with the body.
And Truman sucked him in, still wanted to make the end one.
So foul line, Truman, make.
Back of the rim, good to see from a shooter.
9 points in the game. Not for Truman, 9-point margin in the game is what I'm trying to say. Make it 10. So big start both ways. Fouls, important. We said it last night, we're saying it today, and it is playing out already. Josh Sykes on the sidelines with 4 fouls. They're going to have to do it without him right now as Canavan gives it up.
Canavan went right at Nate Truman. He hasn't defended well this series. Truman is playing with a lot of foul trouble. Went at him, looking for Truman, circling behind. He wants this shot here.
Gets it inside to Fennell.
Finds his mate Fennell on a beautiful little bounce pass. Good unselfish play. And that's a big relief for Ken Harrington when he's got Scotty Stone in foul trouble and one of his bench players can step up and be a contributing factor here.
Stat watch on Matty Fennell. He's come out and had plenty of the ball early here. Well done, Ben Waldron, but he misses. Probably could have gone up without the reverse then in the end. Had some space. Gibson, Clark, basket. So the Hawks are responding. They've had a chat at the break and they've come out and they have put the foot on the gas once again. Lead out to 14. Clark to the line for the bonus.
Look, obviously that's extended halftime break, but they tried to find out how many fouls Clark had. Probably killed some of Eltham's momentum as well as got them a much-needed 1 less foul on Sean Clark, and now we're out to a 14-point lead.
Got to get Chris Cameron back out there for mine. They need to settle it down with Sykes sitting. Sean Clark has a long, long stare at the Eltham crowd then. A very long look.
Nothing but love here.
Ava, turnover, bad pass looking for Waldron. Taken by Fennell. Outside, Truman, Clark, ball on the floor.
Look at Gibson, weak side, there he is.
Long look and a miss.
He's angry with himself, he's not happy.
He had a long look at that one. Still hobbling a little bit for mine as well. Here's Ava. Can they respond? Canavan for 3? No. Rebound, Bradbury had it, lost it, gets it back. In and out of trouble. Canavan, Ava. Gets the screen, goes the other way, and well done,
Great defense by Snow.
Yep.
To me, that was a charge.
Canavan nails the 3 out of that.
I'm glad they haven't signalled a flop warning there because That would have been a technical foul had it been, because they'd already got one early in the game.
Snow is fouled. Bradbury with another one. Snow puts it in. It won't count. Bonham about to come in for the Wildcats.
Interesting on that foul there, Justin. Eltham and now in the bonus. So this potential foul count might have flipped around.
7 minutes. Second foul for Bradbury. Canavan's just hit a 3 and been taken out. Bonham in.
I think we're looking for shots there. They're going to go in at this Bradbury matchup.
Gibson misses. Just can't find his range today. Bonham trying to get some pace into the game. Ava just kept it. Bradbury, great pass, great finish.
Well done by Simon Bradbury.
They're not going away, Paul. Back to 10. The Wildcats will not lay down.
Gibson and Waldron getting into a bit of a tussle down low.
Fennell double team. Truman, nowhere to go. Goes to Gibson. This would be big, and it is. Well, he's been trying to find his range, and that was a big, big shot by Jacob Gibson.
Gibson's ability to be inside the three-point line and get back outside the three, know where his bearings are on the court and knock down those shots is as good as anybody in the Big V.
Now, foul's on Sean Clark here. So you're about to find out. It's been called on Clark. Latham's about to come in, and it's his 4th. So you did say that the change happened after that long debate to start, or before we started the second half. And his fouls were adjusted at halftime from 4 back to 3. It's now back to 4 for Sean Clark. He's out of the game for the moment. Trevor Latham steps into the game. 13-point margin after that huge Jacob Gibson 3. Bradbury misses both. So the Hawks running the show right now. They've had the better of the Wildcats to start this second half. Snow, plenty of space. Gibson just juggled it, gets up to the hoop, and Bradbury nearly tipped it.
An own goal.
Bonham back the other way to the basket, puts it in, and he needs to get going, Paul. He needs to push the tempo, Bonham.
Look at the work rate by Matt Fennell there, but they were able to kick the ball and stop that early post entry.
Scotty Stone about to come in. So Truman's done a serviceable job.
Great job by him this quarter. The best stint of minutes he's had, and the crowd are letting him know about it.
Which way will this contest go? Ball into Gibson. He was fouled.
A nice little lob play there, and Waldron just walked in underneath him as they threw that lob. The old Warrnambool Bobby Cunningham play. He just looks the other way, throws the lob.
I hope Bobby's watching today from his armchair in Adelaide.
He's back in Warrnambool.
Is he?
He is.
Wow. Gets around. Gibson makes the first.
He must be due for another playing comeback.
Surely he's not
Coaching
far away.
comeback?
Surely he's not far away. I reckon he still shoots the 3 ball at a fair clip, doesn't he? Golden hands himself. We just love the fact that we're talking about him.
I'm sure if there was a 4-point line, he'd make a comeback and playing in no problems.
There's Bonham. Again, beyond his range, goes to Waldron.
Great help there by Snow.
Jumper, it's going to roll in.
Great shot. Fennell got caught on that pick there, and Snow helped, but just a little bit too late.
They won't go away. 11-point margin. They're still in it. Latham, lot of space. Stone on Bonham. Out. Snow, long 3, in and out. Bonham gets up high, pushes the tempo again, goes hard, foul on Latham. Good foul. Good foul in the end. He'll wear that.
Snow's threes have been so close to going in. Ringwood Eltham have been daring him to shoot that shot all series long, and geez, he's had 3 parts of rim on that shot, like so many before. It's only going to take 1 or 2, and I think Eltham may need to rethink their strategy there.
5 minutes to go in the third. There's Bonham again. Searching, in trouble, gets to Bradbury, to Ava now, hard shot, doesn't make it. Fennell.
Ringwood's scouting of that set was second to none. They went under all the screens they needed to. They were able to get a switch and then switch back and contest a jump shot with a shot clock winding down.
Stone's got size on Bonham here. Snow's going to get another look. No, he's not, into Fennell. Fennell finding a way to scoop it in for two.
Great touch by Fennell. Almost a foul there, but sort of used the body to fade away.
Canavan and Cameron about to
So
come
deadly going to his right hand.
Ava does not hesitate for the deep two.
Gibson giving it the my bad on the way back through. He's got to carry a hand over the way he's shooting the ball at the moment.
Catch and shoot.
Once Ava's feet are set, he's as good a shooter as anyone in the competition.
It's an arm wrestle. Hawks looking to respond again. Knocked out of the hands of Fennell and last off Ava. Here's the changes.
Bradbury coming out, sucking a bit of oxygen there. Waldron also going to take a rest. Cameron and Jordan Canavan coming back into the game.
Well, it's either a masterstroke giving Benny Waldron a couple of minutes of air in the lungs, or they're going to miss his presence out there. Gibson. Don't know how he did it.
That's as tough as you...
I'm just going to say it. I don't know how he did that.
As tough as you like.
Bonham twisting, turning, cannot respond.
I think Gibson plays with a lot more courage than people give him credit for. He's screaming for the ball here on the weak side. Not too ambitious. Fennell just got a bit too deep on that pass. Tried to test and probe the defence.
When shots like that drop, you just, well, I think it's going to fall your way. It's going to fall your way today, and it may just be that way for the Hawks. The decider, Fennell, this would be big. In and out. Mitch Lee to Bonham. Bonham again pushing the tempo. Cameron, three ball, no. Fennell.
Another rebound.
Rebound check. May have lost it though.
Great hustle by Mitch Lee. And they've got to get this thing over, and they do, and they're going to have a fast break opportunity.
Bang.
Big layup. That's a heartbreaker.
Moments in games. We talked about moments last night, and that was a big one right there. The Wildcats within a whisker of getting a steal. And in the end, they can only watch on as the Hawks get a 2-on-1 to the basket. Ava, through traffic, comes up short. Another rebound for
another
Green,
rebound.
number 10. Big double-double today for Fennell. Stone for three!
Massive three, and Eltham have called a timeout. And we're out to an 18-point lead.
Look at the Hawks
and
crowd.
That was heartbreaking.
Look at the Hawks crowd. They're up and about. They're on their feet as the two-time reigning champs have once again laid down the gauntlet to the Eltham Wildcats. Here's that 50-50 ball. Hawks come up with it. They go long, and it's a 2-on-1. Latham with the finish off Stone.
Such a gutsy pass, that one. If he hadn't thrown it when he had, no doubt they were going to get 8 seconds in the backcourt. Through a cross-court diagonal pass and late and gets you 2 points at the other end. Big turn of events.
Let's not forget, and I think Sykes is about to come in. Let's not forget that Sykes lasted 11 seconds in this third quarter. 9-point margin, lasted 11 seconds. Fourth foul picked up. Haven't seen him since. He's coming back in now. Trevley knows he's got to bring one of his gun imports back on to the court. It's an 18-point margin.
Just a bit of a stats update here for Newcastle. 22 points for Scotty Stone. Fennell, 18 points and 13 rebounds. Sean Clark, 12. Jacob Gibson, who hadn't scored in the first half, had 11 points so far this quarter.
11 in the quarter. Did he have nothing at halftime? Had 4 points
Sorry,
at halftime.
my apologies. For the...
Still got 7 points this quarter, mind you, though.
Ava, Waldron, 13. Canavan, 16 for the Wildcats.
Well, they're in a hole again, the Wildcats. They've got to dig deep. Bonham doesn't usually shoot the three ball.
Not his shot.
Sykes keeps it in. Ava on the attack. Bonham off the glass and
Great
in.
use of the body there. Back to a 16-point ball game. You know,
Can they respond again? 16. Oh,
I think that was fair, and Scotty Stone is open because Illy Bonham ended up on the floor, and he didn't make him pay for the first time.
and then Bonham's knocked it out of court. When you see Stone with that much space, you just think this is automatic.
I think he got the rush of blood already.
Every Eltham fan on the far side, when they saw Scotty Stone accept the
Heart
ball,
in the mouth.
the heads went down. Here's Gibson on the inbound. Wow, that is big. Jacob Gibson, 9 points in the third quarter, has turned it on. Back cut, Ava for 2. Stone lost sight of him.
That's one right out of the Ringwood playbook, that little dribble at you and then get you on the back door.
Well,
Snow with a tough take to the rim.
not even going to call
No
it.
one going to give him any help, so he just takes his man one-on-one.
Not even going to call it. The vet puts another 2 on the board for the Hawks. Running, Stone, glass, in!
Unlucky not to get a foul there. And Matt Fennell has picked off a few passes there on the back line of that defence there by Ringwood. His contributions go far and beyond the scoring and the rebounding.
This is the run right now for the Hawks. Bonham responds. He's got to the basket well this quarter.
Great take by Bonham.
It's at 18 inside the last minute. Stone, Gibson, Fennell, they're coming up big right when it counts. Here's the handoff. Gibson has a look. Sykes with him. Can't foul him. Puts it in.
Gibson was always going to take that one-on-one, knowing Sykes wasn't going to pick up a fifth.
11 in the quarter for Gibson. Heat check. Eltham almost standing together in a huddle. Foul against Matt Snow.
Knew he had some fouls to give there. Looks at the bench. Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's his third.
20-point margin. Ringwood has won this quarter by 11. Gibson has scored by himself 11 in this quarter. 19 seconds to go. We'll actually take that back. That's his second. Just getting a change to the game clock, I think. Obviously not much of a change was going to occur because Trev Lee walked up and said, don't worry about it. Just leave it.
I think that's because he didn't want Ringwood to have 7 seconds. He only wants them to have 5. You've got to see through that one.
Ava just burrowing his way through, and he's called for it. And a tee. And a tee. Without hesitation. So foul is on Ava. No doubt about the foul. Here's the replay.
Is that a technical on Ava
I reckon
as well?
it's Gibson that's worn it. There's Gibson. Yep, he has. Gibson.
Smashed.
Great defence. Walking away, not happy. Got the tee as well. So all things coming up green right now. And I've got to tell you, the experience of Ringwood, just can't see them dropping it from here. Just can't see it happening. Stone with the bonus. Waldron.
What's your
on the
thoughts on
bench.
that technical?
Well, I'm going to say the same thing that I said in the first half against Stone. Players walking away from the situation, unhappy, probably yelling at himself. I'm not close enough to hear if there's anything directed towards the refs. Not looking at the refs, walking away from the refs, gets teed up. Fennell scoops it up, can't put it away. Came off his leg. And it'll be an Eltham ball. So, if you ask me what I think about it, I don't like it. Just don't like it. Players walking away.
Oh, what a play by Matt Snow.
How good is this? Yes!
Wow.
Matt Snow! That is special. That is absolute guts and determination. G&D 101.
And look at Ken Harrington. He can smell it.
That is a player who says, not in our house. Not for the second day in a row. It is not going to happen. Look at this. Here's the replay. Just
love this.
Head over the ball.
Bang!
Dive on it, clean as you like.
And puts it away. Well, that is as good as it gets. If you're a Ringwood fan, if you've got your green on today, that, ladies and gentlemen, is as good as it gets, and it's now a 23-point margin. Gotta love that stuff.
Anytime people come and talk to me about Matt Snow and say he's too old, he's too short, he's too fat, well, guess what? He's just too tough.
And he's too good. Big basket to end the third. And that is a dagger in the heart of the Red Army. If you had some darts, you're probably throwing it at that screen over at Eltham High School right now. Give us some stats.
I'll give you some stats here, Justin. Scotty Stone, 25 points, 9 of 14 shooting, 6 of 8 from the 3. Matt Fennell, 18 points and 13 rebounds. Matt Fennell is on plus 37 at the minute. Jacob Gibson, 15 points. Sean Clark is on 12. Matt Snow hasn't been out of the game yet. He's got 6 points.
Hasn't been out of the game. I spoke to him before the game. He couldn't walk. He could not walk.
6 points and 8 assists for the Wildcats. Bit of an even spread here. Jordan Canavan leading everyone with 16. Justin Aver up to 15. Waldron with 13. And then we've got a smattering of players in single figures.
Can't believe he hasn't been off the court. I'll tell you a story in a moment. Sykes. Good turn to the basket.
Fennell's going to pick up the foul, and he's not happy about it, but he's. I like the way he questioned it.
Yeah,
he knows it. He
just wear it.
wasn't overly emotional about it. He didn't want the foul. He wanted the momentum to continue, but he didn't go overboard with it.
So I walked into the rings today. The Ringwood players are in uniform on the court shooting. This is before the official warm-up, but they're just getting some shots up. In uniform on the court. Matt Snow is behind the glass in the function room, in his civvies, having a chat with me. Out he goes, and he has not stepped off the court. He is amazing. Here he is, the green number 8. Can he win his 5th title in 7 years? Right now, you would say yes. Stone around Cameron and in. All things green right now. 24 points. Waldron for 3, makes it.
Big shot by Ben Waldron. Sat out the end of the third quarter. He'd be keen to get going. He's pretty fresh. And Ringwood, I think, Eltham are in a 3-2 zone here. Might be tough for him to come back, but
Gibson. No.
Ringwood just walked Stone under the basket. No call was coming. A bit lucky there.
Well, based on what we've seen today, very lucky, I would have thought. Here's Whelan for 3. Can't make it. Fennell with the rebound, as he's done all game. Good pass.
You got Stone wide open here.
And he'll finish it. No, he won't. Whelan will push the ball
Got
again.
worried out of it by bigger Josh Sykes.
21 the margin.
Great job there, show by Trevor Latham. Didn't foul that time. Ringwood haven't done that well this series. They've sort of picked up a few quick body fouls, but did a very good job that time, Latham.
Great defense there by Fennell as well. Snow sets it up to Stone. Baseline inside. Latham hands it off. Fennell underneath. Too easy in the end. Packing the paint, the Hawks. And they know that they are literally just a couple of minutes away from this game officially being killed off. Some screening action inside at the moment. High-low. Sykes, fouled, will go to the line for a couple. Hawks up and about. Clark comes back in. Kenny Harrington there in the foreground. We used the word dynasty before today's game. Makes the first, Josh Sykes.
Played all 40 minutes, Sykes, last night for 24 points and 14 rebounds. Foul trouble has been an Achilles heel today. We have not seen enough of him. Makes the second. Back to 21.
Eltham back in that 3-2 zone, and they're going to step off Snow, give him some space.
Look out for Fennell on the arc.
On the shooters.
Look out for Fennell.
There's Gibson stepping right into the shot. It's normally one we'll have for breakfast.
Waldron doesn't hesitate, comes up short. Loose ball, Sykes goes into battle for it. Fennell goes down. Copped a heavy hit to the hip there. Gets straight back up. Truman to come in. And it will be a Wildcats ball.
I think Truman is meant to be coming in for Snow, and he's just said, no, I'm not coming. Oh, no, Fennell's going to come off.
You reckon Snow plays all 40 today?
No, not the way this is going, unfortunately. Having said that,
foul off the ball. It'll go in. Counts for Whelan. Whelan gets the 2.
Push the screener. So I think it's going to be an off-ball foul here.
And it's going to go
it's an off-ball foul, so it's going to be on Snow, but it's going to be a baseline ball. Pushed into Chris Cameron, and now it's Wildcats ball from the baseline.
So points are good, and they need every point they can get right now, the Wildcats. They need everything.
In terms of games, Justin, this has definitely been the highest standard. It's been a lot more free-flowing.
Been good.
And I think the referees have done a tremendous job today.
Well, I think the teams had to adapt from last night. We thought it would be more free-flowing if we had the same calls, and it has been. Whelan in! So he's hit a couple in a row, Whelan.
The Eltham bench were screaming at Whelan to shoot the ball on that last play, and he came over. Trevor Lee gave him some reassurance, and now he is taking some big shots. Good to see the young fella in there making some plays when it counts.
Still in the zone. Stone.
Great ball movement.
Up on that left. Can't make it. Back to 16. Maybe there's still a chance. Maybe they've still got some life. No, tapped away. Well done by the Hawks.
Ringwood have got to be smart here. Eltham good getting numbers back.
Snow right in the middle of it defensively on that occasion as well. Stone open, clear look, doesn't miss.
Back of the rim, beautiful shot there. Great cut from the weak side against that zone. That high post area is always going to be open from the pass from the wing if it's always fed in by a shooter there.
I think this is the first time we've seen Cameron working in the post.
Yeah.
He did that so many times last night. Timeout called by the Hawks. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the first time we've seen Chris Cameron in that situation today?
I think it might have been just going back over the tape last night. Chris Cameron early in the game last night working off the opposite block wasn't as effective in the second half, particularly early in the fourth quarter. They got him going on that left block, going over his left shoulder there, and he really made the difference in the game, set up that lead for the Wildcats very well.
Well, straight after Sam Whelan nailed a couple, gave the Wildcats just a little sense of hope. The Hawks have responded once again. Been terrific basketball. This series hasn't been a close margin in any game so far. Ringwood won game 1 by 28 points. Eltham last night won game 2 by 19. And right now, it's the Hawks by 16. Albeit for us to want a close game at any stage, but all 3 games have had everything.
Yeah, lots of hills and valleys out there, but quality of this game, very free-flowing. The Hawks, 93 points in just under 34 minutes of playing time. Incredible offensive output, and that's just what they're just capable of, is putting points on you quickly.
So even though Ken Harrington called the timeout, there was a chance for Trevor Lee just to push his charges for one more effort, one more big shot at it. But they've got to get stops. As you just said, that 93 is telling, isn't it? And here's Truman open from the corner. Comes up short, but Stone picks it up to Truman. He's got a gap, but he loses it. And there's a foul against Truman in the end.
Looks like Fennell's going to check in the game, probably for Truman. Yes, it is.
Found his way through there, Truman, and then held up Sykes. Truman with 4. Wildcats must score this time down the court. They've got to keep the scoreboard ticking over and hold the Hawks up at the other end. Waldron, Cameron, they've gone straight into him in the post again. Waldron goes through. Cameron in, loves this and puts it in.
Yeah, if you look at those matchups right now with Eltham, they've got, besides Sykes, who was loitering around the opposite block, they've got 3 shooters on the floor out there, so very hard for Eltham to send Ringwood to send a double team down to Cameron in the post there.
Stone steps out of court, turnover. Forget the basket made. 14-point margin. They've got to score again.
Eltham are not done here. Someone forgot to tell them this game was over at three-quarter time. They're going to keep going.
Odds on going into Cameron here?
Love that.
What do you think?
Oh, they'll go into him for sure.
And they do. Waldron goes through.
So
here we go.
Look at all those shooters. Sykes is around that mid-range area, and then your shooters loading up on the weak side.
Finds a way, Sykes, and puts it in off the left.
Facilitating their offense through Chris Cameron right now is a great option.
Back to 12. They're having to crack the Wildcats. Double team on Fennell, falls backwards.
1-2-2.
No
press.
whistle. Wheeling in. Timeout, Ringwood, back to 10. They're up and about the Wildcats.
What a turnaround. And it was deafening from the Wildcats fans about 3 or 4 minutes ago. Now we look at the Ringwood side of the thing, and it could be almost be a funeral over there.
There's the steal and there's the basket. They've hit 3 on the trot, and they are up and about. Eltham High School has just gone ballistic. They're still in the contest. They're still in the fight. There's 5:02 to play, and it's back to 10.
Great character shown by Eltham to just keep fighting.
Now, what I do know is every time the Wildcats have come at them today, the Hawks respond. They've got a timeout. There they are, right there on your screen, having a chat. They're going to respond. You know they're going to come out and do something here, the Hawks. Can the Wildcats get another stop? Can they hold up the green machine? Can they bring it back to single digits?
Interesting to see with Cameron out there, Sean Clark playing on 4 fouls, whether or not Ken Harrington looks to put Trevor Latham back in the game. Obviously no one to double team from. And this 1-2-2 press also causing havoc for the Ringwood team, getting the ball out of Snow's hands early in the backcourt.
They're up the court again. There's the double, or single goes to it in the end. They hold on to it, the Hawks. Fennell in, out to Snow, corner, Stone, long look, in!
Wow, what a big play, what an answer. Stone up to 32 points.
Well, we said they
And
respond.
Jacob Gibson
Turnover.
in the lane.
They're responding, the Hawks.
Look at Stone wanting the ball. They're going to settle. I like the composure.
Gibson! No. Sykes away. Wants to go. Will he go coast to coast? Forces his way in. There's a foul. It'll be baseline ball is the signal.
It's going to be 2 shots because they're in the penalty.
Here it is. Great pass. Stone. Yes. Big basket. Back out to 13. They just find a way to respond, don't they? They're not the reigning champs for nothing. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, today, Ringwood are going for a three-peat. They've been a force in this competition. It is a dynasty. You call it a dynasty, I call it a dynasty. Castlemaine or Castlemaine, it doesn't matter, it's the same thing. Look at, you can't see it on his screen there, but Matt Snow was standing right beside Josh Sykes in his ear. Makes the first. He's behind him now, off to his right shoulder, just talking to him.
Best trash talk he can do is put the ball in the hole. Unfortunately, couldn't do it that time, but he's been very reliable.
Sammy Whelan thought it was his ball. It's going to be a Ringwood ball. 12-point margin. Plenty of time left.
Eltham back in this extended 1-2-2 press here.
Just over 4 minutes to play. They've turned it over. He can't keep it in. Justin Ava does everything he can. slide straight into the Ringwood bench.
It's down to 16 on the shot clock, but the ball did make it into the front court.
So they're going to keep this pressure up. They're not backing down, the Wildcats. They forced game 3 with a big win last night.
I don't think they've realised the ball made it into the front court. They're telling Snow he has to pass into the front court, which they've been able to successfully do.
There's
They're
the double
teaming.
again, and they've got fouls to give. Waldron picks it up. They've got fouls to give. They can just get after it here. Waldron with his third. He's safe. Sykes has got 4 though.
They're going to go at this matchup here.
Clark and Cameron. Clark out to Fennell. Fennell around Sykes.
Puts it up. Floater to go.
And away they come. Sykes on snowball, by the way, inside. Waldron out to Ava. Ava out to Waldron. Yes! Yes, yes, yes!
9-point game.
Still in the battle.
The Eltham faithful up and about.
Fouls to give. It's an arm wrestle. Gibson!
What a shot. He just gave Ken Harrington the thumbs up like, I got this.
That is amazing. Waldron! Basket for basket. This is an absolute classic.
Now, I think that might be Matt Snow's 5th foul.
Oh, what a game. What a contest. What an arm wrestle. What a battle.
No, it's his 4th. My apologies. But back to a 10-point game.
Gotta love this. Here's the replay. This was the 3 Waldron. Look at that. He's at the line for a bonus.
Waldron can get going back to his left. He's a far better shooter going to his right than going to his right. Tough to do for a right-hander.
So now it gets interesting. 10-point margin. 3 minutes to play.
Snow
for 2.
Probably got some contact there on the layup, but still able to make it.
Takes it to Ava.
Ringwood have cracked the ton already with 3 minutes to go, and Sean Clark is going to pick up foul number 5 here.
He'll be out. 12-point margin. That'll put a couple of shots at the line here. He's out. I'll tell you what, though, if you're a Ringwood fan, you're happy with Sean Clark today. His first quarter was exceptional. He got them going right from the start.
Had a great game.
So Ava to the line for 2.
Very frustrated after the game last night was Sean Clark. He come out today knowing he gave it a good crack.
They've missed their last 2 shots from the line, Eltham. Their last 2.
Now, Eltham are chipping away here. Interesting substitution possibly coming in. Canavan has been out for a while. Played very well, mind you. But he's going to check in here for Sam Whelan.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Whelan hit a couple of big baskets in this last quarter. Lead is at 11. They won't go away. But time is now starting to be a factor. It's under 3 minutes, 2:57. And Ringwood will play the clock. They're a smart unit.
They're going to go at this matchup here. Fennell being guarded by Chris Cameron. Obvious.
Gibson in and reverse.
Great up and under play.
Big basket. Huge basket by Gibson. Sykes and
great hands by Matt Snow.
Slaps it out of court.
No question on that one. It looked as if he was going to come over. There was going to be contact, and he just managed to smack the ball straight out of his hand.
Well, it's at 13 points, and surely that's it. Surely it's done with 2:36 to play. Can the Wildcats respond? They've got to work quickly, and they've got to score. Sykes, inside, has to get it up. He does get it up.
Great defense by Fennell. Sykes wasn't able to get back to his left hand. Made it very tough for him.
Time with the green machine, and surely that's it now. Fennell. Well, not sure what the shot was in the end. Really didn't need to shoot it. He was off balance.
He's not happy with himself. I think he realised how much time was on the shot clock.
Here's Waldron. There's a foul on Latham. That'll put Waldron to the line for 2. What Ringwood doesn't need to do here is just commit lazy fouls like that. Don't keep putting them to the line.
They're probably better off getting 3 shot clock violations in a row than they are taking quick shots.
Yep, agree.
Just on that one, last play, Jacob Gibson, who had 4 points at halftime, is now up to 20. So I spoke about this earlier in the series, Justin. His ability to almost be down and out and then come back and hit points when it matters is as good as anyone in the league.
Waldron hits the first. And makes the second. 11 the margin, 2:04 to play. They've got to get up. They've got to get the ball back. Ringwood's going to use the clock, surely. Matt Snow will. He's been in this situation before.
He's in no hurry to make a play here, but now he is. Nice little
Latham!
give off to Latham.
Sykes is out of the game. And you can't blame Josh Sykes there.
Yep.
He had to create a contest. Had to. And he's out. Played an incredible game last night to tie the series up, Josh Sykes. 24 and 14. He has battled foul trouble the whole game today. And with 1:46 on the clock, an 11-point margin with Latham at the line for 2, surely now the Ringwood faithful will be thinking a three-peat is on the way. This club, this team is a testament to everything about winning silverware. Latham makes the second. After winning the opening game by 28, they were shocked last night, stunned last night when they lost by 19. Today they came out and in the first quarter,
Great composure by Matt Snow here.
they put on 34 points to 16 to lead by 18. And try as they might, the Wildcats, over and over and over again, they have come at the Hawks.
Stepped out of bounds, but they were able to wipe off 21 seconds off the shot clock on that possession, and that all but gives this one over. Justin Ava cramping up there, trying to stretch his calves out on the baseline. Some of these bodies are going to be hurting after today's and last night's games.
On every occasion today, the Hawks have responded to the Wildcats. Waldron for 3. Stone with the rebound. 67 seconds to play.
Matt Snow just sort of gingerly walking back to inbound the ball. Be interested to see if they get him out and get the applause from the crowd.
The Ringwood Hawks are headed for their 5th championship since 2012. Their 3rd in a row. And this one has been one for the ages as Gibson scores another basket because the Wildcats have pushed them. The Wildcats have tested them. The crowd knows. The Ringwood faithful know, as Cameron puts in a couple, that their beloved team in green, the Hawks, are going to win the 2018 title. They settle down again. Fennell won't waste a shot like he did a couple of minutes ago. In fact, they'll probably just use the entire shot clock here as Snow is fouled. They're up and about. Listen to the applause. Timeout called by Eltham, and I reckon that is nothing more than Trevor Lee bringing his players in to say, fellas, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what we achieved as a team this season. I'm damn proud of what you did last night, and I'm damn proud of the way you've fought back from what was an obliteration in the first quarter today. But it's all about the team in green.
Great character shown by Eltham over the series. You know, coming off a 28-point loss in game 1, really coming out and sticking it to him last night, and you know, being able to cut that 25-point lead, I think it was, in the third quarter or just after the three-quarter time. Got it back to, I think, 7 or 8. with about 4 minutes to go.
8 points, I think, it got back to.
But unfortunately, they're not going to have enough to get over the line. But full credit to them. These two teams were easily the best two teams in the league this season. I mean, it was
Finished
such
1-2.
a 1-2. Certainly a tough competition. That's not an easy statement to say. But good on them for playing the grand final series the right way.
So here we go, the final 26 seconds of the season. And in 26 seconds' time, you are going to see celebration from the team in green. Here's Stone. What a game he's played. Fennell just copped an errant hand in the eye. Certainly accidental.
I don't know why Eltham was so keen to pressure the ball and potentially foul there, but they did.
In the meantime, Mitch Lee picks up his 5th, and he's out of the game.
Christian Williams checking back in for the Wildcats.
So Fennell will go to the line. By the look of the knock to the eye, he may not even see the basket here. He's going to step up though, still rubbing his left eye. What a start Fennell had to today's game. Dominated the glass, didn't he? Both ends of the floor. Took some big boards early in this game. Really helped get the Hawks going. Misses the first. He'll blame the whack in the eye for missing the first.
Fennell's got 20 points and 17 rebounds.
It's incredible.
What a series he's had.
Player of the series?
He'd have to be up there.
Of course, the referees decide on the player of the series. Misses both. Won't matter though. Ball out, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be a shot clock in this, but it won't matter. The crowd is up and about. The Ringwood faithful are about to celebrate a magical season. They were tested last night. The Wildcats bounced back. But today, it's about the Ringwood Hawks. And the Ringwood Hawks are celebrating the 2018 Grand Final. Game clock still got 5.6 seconds on it. It doesn't matter. It just does not matter. Eltham probably need to pass it in and hang on to the ball. But well done to the Ringwood Hawks. We're going to get the presentations underway in just a moment, and we'll keep the cameras rolling through the presentations. There it is. Congratulations to the Ringwood Hawks. Scotty Stone, massive game. Matt Fennell, Sean Clark, Matt Snow, Jacob Gibson. The supporting cast off the Pine. Truly sensational. They are the champions. Congratulations to the 2018 title holders. 3 in a row, 5 in 7 years. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just got to bow down to the Ringwood Hawks. Paul Langford, give us your thoughts.
Look, they just hurt you so many different ways. Gibson, 4 points at the half. What did he finish up with? 24. Scotty Stone with 32 points. Matt Fennell, 20 points and 17 rebounds. Matt Snow had played all 40 minutes on
Look at that.
one
Look
leg.
at that.
11 assists, 5 rebounds.
There they are. They got the 3 fingers in the air. They know. The three-peat of the Hawks. If you're a Ringwood fan, enjoy it. If you're an Eltham fan, be proud of your team. They stretched this mighty, mighty unit to 3 games. We'll keep the cameras rolling through the presentations. Hope you've enjoyed it all. I didn't think we'd be back here for Game 3, but here we are. And they have come through it, the Hawks.
Great job by the Eltham team. Bit of a huddle going on. Obviously the celebrations from Ringwood, but Eltham there, just a little bit of a debrief. No doubt they'll be disappointed with the loss, but they can hang their heads high for what a great series they've had and a great season.
Well, Paul, I'm going to leave it with you to finish off the stats, and the presentations will get underway. I'm going to go out and do the ceremonial duties to all of our viewers and listeners right around the world. Hopefully you've enjoyed the 3-game series. It's been great bringing you to, but I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Mr. Langford, and I'm going to head off for the presentations.
So full-time stats, Scotty Stone, 32 points. Matt Fennell, 20 points, 17 rebounds, 4 assists. 22 points, 4 rebounds, Jacob Gibson. Sean Clark, 12 points. Matt Snow played all 40 minutes for 8 points. 11 assists for the Wildcats. 23 points for Ben Waldron. Big last quarter from him. Jordan Canavan, 16. Josh Sykes had a great second half, 16. 10 points to... Sorry, that was Justin Aver, 16 points. Josh Sykes, 10 points. The presentation will get underway. We'll leave you with the announcements.
That they gave us this season. So congratulations to both teams for making the grand final. To acknowledge the referees and thank them for their participation in this series. And we'd like to welcome our big league representative here today, Justin Nelson, to say a few words before presenting the awards.
Thanks very much. Ladies and gentlemen, these two teams finished 1 and 2 this season. They both had a fantastic run and they've put on a 3-game series to remember. First of all, on behalf of Big V, I'd like to congratulate the Eltham Wildcats. Terrific fight back last night. Trevor Lee and his team, you've got a lot to be proud for this season. I know it hasn't turned out the way you wanted today, but you've put on a mighty show right throughout 2018. And on behalf of everybody in the Big Rig, I just want to pass on my congratulations. Well done. To everybody behind the scenes that make all of these games possible, our referees we've acknowledged, but our score bench and our stats team and everybody that does the hard work around the stadiums, putting the show on. Congratulations and a big thank you to all of you as well. Ladies and gentlemen, 5 championships in the last 7 years, 3 championships in a row. This team is the envy of all state championship men's team. It is a quite remarkable run. It's extraordinary. They've won championships away from home, and today they've won another championship on their home floor. Please put your hands together. Remarkable. The Ringwood Hawks. On behalf of the Big Three, to Kenny and the team, you're the champions once again. You thoroughly deserve it. I think there's a lot of people right around the Big Three who are truly in awe of what you continue to achieve. Congratulations, well done.
Thank you, Justin. I mentioned the referees earlier, and you'll know that the selection for grand final representation of referees is a reflection of the performance of referees all year, and these are the 3 best we've had all year. And I'd like to name them and ask them to come forward to receive the medal from Justin. We have Adrian Petrie.
next year. Throughout the crowd, you guys are amazing. Like, every game.
To our runners-up now, congratulations on making the grand final, Eltham. I'd like to request that the captain and coach of the Eltham side, Christian Williams and Trevor Lee, come to the microphone. To present their team with their runners-up medallions.
Look, I'd like to congratulate you. It's been, like I said, it's been a whole series for us to bounce back last night. The good one was pretty good, pretty proud of that. So you guys came out today, that first quarter was amazing. Once again, congratulations on your win. It probably ended up the way it started, 1-2. So, congratulations, you guys. You're tough every year. And we'll come back next year and have another great game. Thank you very much. To my guys, usually work hard all year. Sometimes we've got to ride, sometimes we can get quite by that. But to come through the semi-final series against Hawthorn and do what we did, to cop the way we copped in the first grand final game and then come back last night and do what we did. And then to be competitive today, I'm so proud of you guys. Obviously, won it, work your tails off, week in, week out, and you still deserve the time to make final series. You quite go away, and we'll come back and we'll have another great. To Eltham as a club, great job to Central Lunch. You guys are great support. Very proud of the club we all are. For spectators, there's no spectators like ours in the league. It's most of the pack most nights that we know going to have. So we're proud to play for you guys. We do our best every time we hit the floor for you guys. So once again, thanks very much.
Just following on from what Trevor said, I just want to thank everybody that behind the scenes. I think for probably speaking on behalf of both teams, there's a lot that goes on at home. Obviously, we work full-time jobs and things like that. Basketball is it is a bit of a luxury for us. Some of us do it for a living, others just do it to enjoy. And I think I want to thank if I can get all the players to give them all the supporting staff, parents, partners, everything that goes on. To our guys, just one more. So we keep that mentality for next year. Congratulations to Ringwood. You guys have done it year in, year out. You can see everything that's up there behind us, and we have there as a club as well. Thanks to you, mate. Well done. I've known you since I was playing 10, 12 years old. You're still kicking ass out there, so keep doing that. Hopefully next year we get one up on you though. Next year. I'll start announcing first. Ben Alder. Next one. Chris Miller. Mitchell Lee. Christian Lee. Simon Bradbury. Jordan David. Tony O'Connor. Russell Allen. Frank Stratford, Steve Smith, One thing I didn't know that I probably mentioned was on both teams, on most teams that play, is our coaching staff. They work their asses off. Steve Smith, Coach Gopher, our doctor, Brett, team managers, Tracy Central today, and what we said before, our wives, our families, Ben Stevens, Stevens, we take photos. So we really appreciate that. We really appreciate it. So, and those people, these guys are saying that actually staff, they work their asses off week in, week out to do what we do. So, congratulations to those guys. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the state championship game 2018 runners up the Eltham Wildcats.
I'd now like to call upon the captain and coach of the champion Ringwood side to say a few words in Harrington and Ringwood.
Development in Eltham basketball this year with the amount of support you guys got, getting in two great import players, which did a terrific job in the program, on and off the court. Stadiums are full, it's great for basketball, great season, guys, you did terrifically well. Just to everyone, it's another great season. Very proud of what you came back today. It would have been very easy for us to let this one slip, but when you have leadership like Vinny Snowball, Andy Fennell, Sean Clark, Trevor Latham, Jacob Gibson, Scotty Stone, all those guys managed to pull the team together, and well done, boys. Very proud of you. People like team manager Luke Rock, who's done an unbelievable job for everything. Assistant coaches in the league, just asking on the phone. People on stats, Brian, Michelle, who's the game manager, to our committee and all the big supporters. Thanks very much. We're looking forward to see you again on Punch Straight over the
First of all, I'm just going to keep it quick, but Eltham Paints boys, hell of a series. I mean, just battle and battle, and I wouldn't want it any other way to be honest, so I can't wait to be back next year and we'll have another crack at it. But we've been in this club forever, and it's just the best bunch of groups, the best coaches, the best fans in the world. Thanks to the coaching staff, especially Bernie, puts up with that crap a lot, so thanks for that. And yeah, I'm done. Thanks, guys.
anyone left. Ladies and gentlemen, also acknowledging